All right, now we're going to be talking about custom audiences. This is where it starts to get really, really juicy with Facebook. The capabilities that you have here are unsurpassed with any other type of advertising network on the planet. So, highly recommend that you're always using custom audiences in your client funnels. What we're going to be covering today is website custom audiences and then list-based custom audiences. And Facebook recently rolled out engagement custom audiences. So we're going to have a look at all three of them. Now this again is a dummy account that we're running from. So nothing has been set up. So we're essentially starting from scratch here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to access the audience tab, and we do that by clicking this little hamburger sign, and we'll go audiences. And if you don't have any custom audiences, this is what you're going to be prompted to, this little page here. So we're going to go ahead and create a custom audience. So these are the options that we have. We're not going to go into app activity right now because this is really advanced stuff, but let's have a look at customer file. So this is really an email list, or it could be a phone number list. It could be an exported list from LinkedIn, but it's essentially a list, a proprietary customer list. There are many touch points that Facebook can match people through on Facebook, so including email, phone numbers, name, location. So let's have a quick look at it. So the first step when you select this is you either have the option of choosing the file or importing it from MailChimp. So this is a really nifty one if you are using MailChimp. If you select this, you'll be prompted to log into MailChimp and then give it access, select the list that you want to bring into Facebook, and then Facebook will match it. So it's pretty straightforward stuff. I really don't need to show you front to finish for the MailChimp. I'm just going to exit out of this or refresh this. My internet is really slow now, of course. All right, here we go. So let's just go back to that. Sorry, my internet was slow, so I thought it was a Facebook glitch. Now, the other option that you have is choosing a CSV file or copying and pasting the data. So let's have a look at this one. Now, as you can see here, Facebook can match people based on 15 different identifiers. So that includes email, phone number, their mobile advertiser ID, their first name, their last name, their zip code, the city, the province, the country, the date of birth, the year of birth, the gender, age, Facebook app user ID, and Facebook page user ID. So there's a lot of different touch points it can match customers or lists with. Normally, when you're working with a list-based custom audience, the client generally just has a name and an email. So it could be a first name, last name, and then email. And oftentimes, we've got a phone number to upload in there as well. So you can choose to upload the CSV. So if you're exporting this from GetResponse, for example, or a CRM provider, normally when you export that, it will show up as a CSV file, or you can copy and paste. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what it's going to ask us next is to identify the segments. So in this instance, we've only uploaded name and email. So we're going to make sure we tell Facebook this is the first name, and then this is the email, and we're going to upload and create. Generally speaking, Facebook can match around 70% of your list. So if you have a list of about 100 people, normally 70% of them it will be able to match. And as you can see, once you've created it, it will take Facebook a little bit of time to update. You can start using it in your targeting right away, but understand that it's still populating. So a lot of the times what we see is if it's telling you the audience is too small or it's stalling, the campaign has stalled, it's not even running, what you just want to double check and troubleshoot is did I leave enough time for the audience to populate? While you can start using it, occasionally what we see is there's a bug that actually stalls everything. So what you might want to do is recreate the custom audience from the top, wait for it to populate properly, and then go and use it in the campaign and relaunch everything. Okay, so this is how we create a list-based custom audience. If we go back into Ads Manager really quickly, and we're going to go down to our ad set, which is where we do the targeting, so this level here. What you'll see is this will now show up under Custom Audience tab. There we go. We've got customers. So we can choose to include this, or we can have it as an exclusion. So we exclude customers from our ads. Let's go back into audiences and have a look at website custom audiences. So a website custom audience is essentially people that have, let's cancel this one. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. So there you go. A website custom audience is people that have visited your website or specific pages on your website. Now what's really important here, guys, is you must 100% have the pixel in place in order to build one of these. There's no ands, if, or buts about it, and you should have that pixel anyways. So if you don't know if they have the pixel, make sure you go through the pixel training again and use the pixel tool helper to establish if the pixel's on the website. But what we can do here is some really, really cool stuff. So we can either just visit anyone that have visited the website. Now the pixel hasn't been set up for this account. This is a dummy account. But if it had, this would be green and it would be saying, you know, you can target anyone on the website. And we can do this up to 180 days. Now you can do this 4 days. So you might create website visitors 4 days, and you might decide to show them a special offer, and then you might create one for 10 days and show them a different offer here. So let's go ahead and create one for 4 days for anyone that has visited the website. Sorry, I'm such a stickler for spelling, and we'll create that. Okay, great. So we've got that one now. Let's go back in here, create another one. Now, what we can also do here is if we select this drop down, we can select people that visited specific pages on our website. So let's say you have a Wufoo form where people book a call. You could say any URL that contains Wufoo. And again, you can select this up to 180 days. Booked page. Booking calendar page is probably, they haven't booked at this stage because they've just viewed the page. Booking page, views, 180 days, or let's do 10 days for this one, for example. And you could create this audience, and it's that simple. Let's go back in here and let's check out the next one. I want to go back in here, who visits specific web pages. What I tend to like to use is equals, so the URL equals, because if you have contains, let's say you go Wufoo and you've actually got 4 or 5 different booking pages. They all have Wufoo, but one of them is Wufoo 1 and one of them is Wufoo 2, one of them is Wufoo 3, but they're all for fundamentally different funnels. Then if you use URL contains, it's going to retarget everyone who visited any page that contained this term in it. So if you want to retarget a specific page, you need to make sure that you're using equals. So then you just copy and paste the URL. So let's say we want to target people that visited the services page. We just copy that and punch in the URL here. Services page visitors, 10 days. And that's that simple. Okay, now I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. Here's where you can start creating custom audiences without really needing to create a standard event. So what I mean by that is you can select this one to create, let's say, people that visited the booking page URL. So let's say that was a page that contained the term Wufoo, but exclude people that visited the confirmation. So we're basically targeting people that viewed the booking page, but excluding those that booked. So we're trying to retarget those that haven't booked, but they were interested. Haven't booked, viewed booking page. So this is what you can do here. Again, you can use URL equals as well if there's too many variations on that client's websites. I like to do that because it's just safer. And let's save that one. We're creating a lot of custom audiences here. And then what I want to show you here is people who haven't visited in a certain amount of time. So this is really good to reactivate people, bring them back into the website. There's some really clever strategic purposes for this. So for example, if you've got a new blog post, or if you've got a webinar, or any piece of content marketing, this could be a great approach as well. Now what I like is this one, custom combination, because what we can do here is we can actually create custom audiences based on standard events. So we don't have a standard event set up yet, but if we'd had, what you'd do is you'd select this little drop down and event would be sitting right here. In fact, let me go into another ad account so I can fully show you this. All right, so this is another ad account. And what you can see here is when you have created the standard event, and remember, watch the Pixel training to figure out how to set those up. What you do is you'd select event, and then you choose the event that you have set up here. So we've got complete, and this is only going to show up if it's been triggered. So if you just set up the standard event and it hasn't been triggered yet, it's not going to show up here. So let's just go people that purchased. And then what we can do here is create purchased last 180 days, for example. And now you can create a custom audience of people that purchase. And this is really good for upselling strategies. So for example, if you're trying to upsell to people that purchase a specific product, or if you want to exclude your existing customers from top of funnel ads. I'm going to cancel out of this one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you all right, what I want to do now is I want to show you, I'm just going back into the dummy account because it had the newest feature. So let's go back in here. Engagement audience. So I've just shown you how to create a custom audience from a file, a proprietary audience file, a custom audience from website activity and standard events. And then we can create a custom audience from engagement. So this is really, really cool, this one. So you can create a retargeting audience, a custom audience of people that viewed a video. So let's have a look at this. So what you do here is you go people that viewed at least 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 25%, 50%, 75%, 95%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I like to use at least 25. I really like 75% because that's a really, really engaged audience, but a lot of people drop off. What is that doing that? A lot of people drop off really, really quickly from video views, so you probably need a fairly big audience size in order for this one to be effective. But let's just click this, and then we would choose the video. Now there's no videos. We'll choose the page. Let's go here. And you can do 10 days, for example, and video views. 10 days. Facebook used to build this retargeting audience automatically, but now you have to build your own custom audience to retarget video viewers. Okay, so let's create this audience of video viewers. Let's go back into our custom audiences. Have a look at here. Lead ad. So this is really cool. So you can select the lead form that you have. Anyone who opened this form, people who opened but didn't submit, people who opened and submitted. This is so amazing, right? So a lead ad obviously is where people can submit details straight in Facebook and they never go to a website, right? So you can now create a custom audience and retarget people that opened it but they didn't get in touch or they didn't submit their details. Maybe it was because they weren't comfortable with that ad format. So retargeting them with a different piece of copy or a link click ad would be a very good strategy here. And then again, people who opened and submitted the form, maybe you want to retarget them with a special offer or a reminder or a call to action to take, the next step, whatever that is in the funnel. I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to go back because you get the gist, right? You can save by days. And then Canvas ads. Obviously, look under the ad formats training and you can have a look at all this. So, for example, you can select the canvas for the client. And again, you can retarget people who open the canvas. Canvas isn't necessarily very good for link clicks, right? People tend to view canvases, but it's like videos. Not many people click through a lot of the time. So this will allow you to actually retarget people who opened the canvas and who engaged with it. And then anyone who clicked any of the links in the canvas. So these were all guys that were obviously a bit more involved. And then if we go back, this one is really cool. So page, what we can do is we can actually retarget everyone who engaged with the page. That includes people who like the page, who unliked the page, who left positive feedback, negative feedback, anyone. Now you can target people, create a custom audience of people who visited the page. So people checked out your Facebook page. People who engaged with any post. Now, unfortunately, at this time and stage, we can't select a specific post, but hopefully that will be in the near future. So this will be anybody who engaged with any post that you've ever posted. People who clicked on any call to action button. People who sent a message to your page. So this is really cool. This one is a custom audience that you must build if you want to create Messenger placement ads. So ads that show up inside of Messenger. This is not a Messenger destination ad. We're talking about a placement ad. So ads that show up in Messenger. And then people who saved or any of the links or from your post that you had. So the possibilities are really endless here, and this is a great new way to create custom audiences, especially if your client has never had the pixel on their website and they don't really have an email list to work from. So if you're just taking on a new client and they've never had the Facebook pixel in place, they don't have an email list that they can work from, this option is really, really great because now you can actually build a custom audience, a fairly warm one of people that engage with posts over the last 10 days, 180 days, whatever that might be, who is a good baseline to start with if you don't have the website traffic or the email list. So great top of funnel stuff to split test and test out. And obviously you're going to name that. So let's check out where to use that in Ads Manager one more time and how to strategically use these in your campaigns, right? So let's go in here. Again, we're in the ad set level. And what we can do is we can select our custom audience. So let's say we're going to retarget our video viewers. And because of that, we don't want to select a location. And you don't need a location when you're using custom audience. So we're going to retarget people that viewed our video in the last 10 days, and we're going to exclude our customers. So this could be one retargeting audience. Let's say we want to retarget people that viewed the booking page in the last 10 days, but exclude customers and people that visited in the last 4 days. So now we're really targeting people that visited this page between days 5 and 10. And what we might do is show them one piece of creative, and then we can go back in here and target these guys with a different piece of creative. I mean, the opportunities are endless. So this is essentially how to use custom audiences in your targeting.